Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my Week 16 review of CFL action. We got 5 games, unlike the usual. So, without further ado, I'm going to get right into this. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And we're going to start with Edmonton versus Toronto. Alright, so this game already happened because it was coming earlier. I forgot about this, but this is actually the makeup game from Week 4. They got canceled due to the Edmonton Elks having too many players got infected with COVID-19. So this game was postponed it was mid this week. It was one of those midweek games, so it caught me off guard. Missed it. Sorry about that. But one thing I want to talk about a little bit about this game is I'm going to save the actual results of this game till the review. But I want to talk about what would be interesting is how different this game would have went down if it went down in Week 4. Because obviously there have been some changes since then. Toronto at that point was playing Nick Arbuckle at QB. And at that point, Edmonton had Trevor Harris. But now, of course, they only have Cornelius and now Arbuckle's there. So would they have... it's an interesting thing to think about, so I'll let you kind of put your thoughts on it, but I'll review it in the review. There's not a whole lot of expectations I had in this game. I was just kind of curious to see how Edmonton would do after their game against Saskatchewan, but I'm going to talk about a little bit more of that in the Edmonton BC game here. But anyways, our next game of the week, which is Ottawa versus Montreal. All right, so... to be honest, don't really expect anything of Ottawa at this point. I really don't think they're going to do much of anything. Yeah, I think this will be a pretty easy win for the Alouettes, especially with the strong game they had against Winnipeg. Yes, Winnipeg was resting a ton of their players. The vast majority of their roster was second and third string guys, making up the majority of the team that was on the field. But you cannot deny that the Alouettes did not play a great game there, both great offensively and defensively. And I think Trevor Harris had a great game, and I think that's how it's going to be this. I think it's going to be a big Montreal win. I don't think it will be close. And yeah, but that will bring us into our next game, which is Edmonton versus BC. I have no idea for this game. This game is going to be a close one, especially with the way that the Elks put up in their performance against Saskatchewan, and then, in their performance against Toronto, which I'm trying not to use that as weight because it's supposed to be a preview of the whole week. But it's hard not to creep in because, we saw that great game that they played against Saskatchewan and they did continue it. So I think they will continue it here. I think BC obviously has definitely the edge in the QB department. As good as Cornelius has been doing, Mike Riley is definitely a better QB. So I think if Edmonton wants to win this game, their defense needs to be huge. It needs to stop both Whitehead and Burnham from really gaining anything. Whitehead, who sadly got robbed of a touchdown this past week because some of his defenders with some illegal blocks pushed him all the way back there to the point where they'd have to punt from almost their own end zone, which was not good. But I think, Edmonton's defense needs to come up huge if they want a win here. But that will bring us into first off, this is the first time I think this game is too close to call. I can't give the edge to either team. Just with the way that Edmonton's been doing as of right now, and the way BC has been doing. They had a close game against Calgary. Maybe BC, maybe. It's too close to call. We'll go with that. Anyways, that'll bring us into our next game, which is Saskatchewan versus Hamilton. All right, so interesting prediction here. I think Hamilton will have a bounce-back game. Now, the question is, all that momentum that Fajardo had in that last game, the great game that he had, will he keep that up going into this game? That is really the big question here. There's a lot of ifs in this game. It's, does Hamilton bounce back? Does Fajardo keep his momentum? There's a lot of factors, and I think that one of the biggest things for Hamilton is their offense needs to be better. Their offense last game was disappointing, and I think if they want to have a win over the Roughriders, they're going to need to get it going. I think they will with Jalen Acklin, Brandon Banks, Mazzoli, with everyone healthy in the lineup. I think Hamilton could do it. I think Hamilton wins this game. I think it's going to be really close, but I think Hamilton will edge out the victory over the Roughriders. And that will bring us into our last game, which is Winnipeg versus Calgary. I expect nothing of the Bombers in this game. I think we're going to see a lot. It's going to be very similar to the game against Montreal, which, I mean, for Bomber fans, it's going to be boring to watch. But you know why it has to be that way? We want to rest our starters. We want them ready for playoffs. We want them healthy. That's the main thing. The only thing I can maybe see Mike O'Shea doing is taking out Shaq Cooper and putting in Jarian Grant, just because he knows how to catch the ball. But, yeah, I expect Winnipeg to rest a ton of their starters. Bo Levi Mitchell and Begelton will obviously be in. I think that Begelton and Bo Levi Mitchell will be the absolute show for Calgary. And I expect Calgary to win this game, to be honest. As much as I hate predicting against the Bombers, I didn't even do it against the Alouettes. The Bombers are going to rest almost everyone. And it is what it is. I think that's what they should be doing. Because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, when people look back to the season, are people going to be like, wow, they had that season where they went 12 and 2, or are they going to be like, wow, that's where they got the Grey Cup? The Grey Cup is what you care about. So you got to keep the guys healthy for playoffs. It's a nothing game for us, So I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. And I think that's a smart coaching decision to do for O'Shea. Anyways, yep, that's pretty much all I have in this video. All 5 games this week. Yeah, so very last week. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I think I'll probably do one previewing the 2 semifinal games, and then the 2 conference final games, and then, of course, the Grey Cup game. I'm excited for playoffs. I hope you are too. Please comment down below if you're excited for playoffs, who you're rooting for, and who you think is going to come out with the big Grey Cup. So, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.